Hello again, everyone. So after finishing Redux testing it with the text state, so we already make sure that Redux is working. So let's go ahead and call the API and fetching the movies after search. So to do that, we need to create an action. This action will create a HTTP request that will call the API, and then depending on the link we are putting inside this request, it will return some information, which is the data, which is the movies we are looking for. So we will take those movies, those data, and set them into one of our states, which is the movies state. So let's start with building or creating the fetch movies action. So this will take the text, which is the search text, and then it will call dispatch, and after that, oops, so in order to make an HTTP request, you need to you can use the fetch package, which is already included inside JavaScript, but I prefer to use Axios. So it's much better than fetch. Of course, you can use whatever you want, but I will call and import Axios from Axios. We already installed the package, and here you can call Axios dot the method we are using to call the API. You can use get or post or delete, then in our case we are using get, and we will put the link of the API, or the link that the request will go and fetch the data from. So in our case, if you remember, in the API website, there's some examples that will explain something. Okay, just loading. Okay. So the basic URL will be like this. So we are calling this link, which is the official link, or the official website link, and after that we should insert the API key, our API key. After that, it takes parameters. So here's the parameters we will use. You can use, of course. So in our case, we are searching, so we will need to use this S parameter, and after this S parameters, you can put the data or the text you are looking for, and then fetching the data. So let's go ahead and try it in our code. So let's first copy this, put it inside, and also S equals, and we will put the text here. So first we need to import our API keys. So to do that, call API from, we are inside actions, so go outside and then go to API keys. Okay, so we'll put the API keys here, but first we need to change. In order to use a variable inside your string, you need to change into template literal, which is taking this back tick, and also this one. Oops. What's going on here? Okay, and then we can insert any variable inside the text or the string. So we need to insert the API key, so just to curly braces and $sign. Okay, and then we can insert our API key inside here, so it's taking the value of the API key inside here as a string. So, and after the S we need to put the text here, so let's do a $sign, curly braces, and text. So by that we call the API. So after that we will have a response. So let's go to the next line, and to deal with the response we call then, and the response, and here where we implement the dispatch. And for dispatch we have a type which will be fetch movies. So let's go ahead first the types and add a new type. So let's delete this, fetch movies, save, close, save. Okay, so let's import fetch movies. So the type will be, of course, fetch movies, and the payload will be our response, which contains the data, which contains the movies. So let's call response.data, and after then we need to catch if there's any errors. So if there's any errors, just console log that error. Okay, so after doing that, let's go to, after save, let's go to the search reducer, and we need to add a new case. So let's copy this. Let's copy this. Okay, fetch movies. We need to change and set the movies state into the payload. So let's delete this for now, and let's save. Actually, we need to import fetch movies first. Yes, we have this error. Okay, save. Okay, that's good. So to test our action, let's import it inside and use it inside our search form. So to do that, let's just import fetch movies from the same file, which is the search actions, and make sure that we passed the name of our new action inside the connect. So to use that, you can imagine that when we hit enter, we will get the results normally. So when we hit enter, it happens when somebody submit. So we are having in React, we have this on submit, which is taking a method. So this dot on submit. Of course, you can call it whatever you want. I prefer the same name, just for to be a self-explanatory. So on submit, also it takes event, and inside it we will call this action, which is the fetch movies. So let's call this, remember we are the action now is in our props dot fetch movies, and it needs the text, which is we already saved the text. If you remember, in the onChange method, we saved the text, the input text or the input value, into the text state. So we can call the state here. We can call the state from here and text state, and that will pass the text, the search text, into our fetch movies action. So we already pulled out the text from here, from the states, so we can use it inside our action as a props. So this dot props dot text. Also, before making the request and fetching the triggering the action, first we need to prevent default behavior of our button. Okay, so let's save. So you can imagine that on submit, when somebody's okay, there's an error, fetch movies, search for the importer, it's not exported. Fetch movies from search actions. It's wrong. Just the wrong syntax and wrong name. Movies. Okay, save again. Okay, everything's good. So when we hit enter or submit on the button of the search, this will fire and initiate this action. So this action taking a text parameter, which is the state, which is one of our states. So we already pulled out the text from the states and use it as a prop inside our component. So we can access this text state from our props. I hope that clear. So let's go ahead and test our component So I'll open the Redux tools. Okay. The states, we are having these states. Okay, if we type something, we'll change the text. So let's search for, I don't know what, or interstellar. Okay, let's hit search. Oops. Okay, there's just error in typing. You make sure that you type prevent default correctly. So I was missing some letters. So let's try it again. Let's call let's say interstellar and hit search, and then in our states you can see that we have a response, which is this object search with total results, response true, and inside search we are having our movies. So that's exactly what we want. So we having this, let's make it bigger. Okay, we having the title of the movie, the year, the IMDb ID, also the type, and the poster link. So it's working perfect, but actually we need just the search object. We don't need any other search results or the response. So I will set the response, or the let's say that response dot the payload into dot search, so that we are getting just the search object. Let's save. Let's get back. My computer is dying, obviously. Okay, so let's hit any other movie. I'm so bad with names. Let's say whatever. Okay, let's hit enter, and here's the response. We are having those results and an object of the name of the movie, whatever works. Also we are having this movie name, whatever it takes. All those are movies coming from our API. So that's perfect. Our action is working, and we successfully set the state into that into the response. So you also can see the actions here. So you can see that we fetched the fetch movies type, and also with the payload of this. So this extension actually helps you a lot understanding what's going on here. So as you see here, it's just a timeline of the types of the actions we used to through this whole process. So first search movie, search movie, search movie. So it's call it each time when you type a letter in your input. each time you call a letter here, so it's calling search movie. Another one, another one, another one. You can notice that here. Then after hitting the search, it called this action, which is fetch movies. So this extension actually helps you a lot debugging and understanding exactly what's going on. So sorry about the video, it's a bit long, but I hope you understand what's going on here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.